If you've ever been through a season of your life where you've been truly disciplined, and yet you haven't created the kind of progress or momentum that you would think you would have or should have created, considering how disciplined you were and how long you were disciplined for, there's usually one specific hidden problem there that's causing that, a root cause that's causing that. And ironically, while discipline is a key part of the creating results formula, being even more disciplined when discipline in and of itself doesn't seem to be doing the job isn't the answer, right? More of what's not working isn't the answer to making it work. However, and yet, discipline is necessary for results. So what's this thing? Believe it or not, I've come across many men in my life who have a lot of discipline consistently in a lot of different areas, but aren't creating the kind of progress that you think they should have given the amount of discipline. What's the problem? What's the root cause? What's lacking? Here's what it is: focus. Now, you might hear that and think, oh, anticlimactic, or whatever thought you might have, or I might have your interest and your curiosity now. In either case, I would highly encourage you to listen. The difference between focus and discipline, and there's a lot of different ways we could create a distinction, but for the purpose of this video, and if you happen to be somebody who has a lot of discipline but you're not getting results you want, the difference between focus and discipline is showing up and doing what you said you were going to do when you said you were going to do it, long after the feeling of wanting to do it passes. So, for example, it's saying, as an example, using the gym as a metaphor, fitness as a metaphor. Discipline is doing 4 gym sessions per week for months on end, long after the motivation of maybe a New Year's resolution passed, right? So you don't feel like going to the gym 4 times a week, but you still do it. Now, you can go to the gym and do all kinds of working out, genuinely put in a lot of hard work, but not still get the significant level of progress that you think you should get for the level of work you're putting in the gym in terms of how your body looks. This is where focus comes in. What kind of program or what kind of training are you focusing on when you are sticking with your discipline? Okay? Really basic example, cheesy metaphor, but I'm going to use it to give you a starting example and to create some contrast here. If your goal is to have a muscular physique and you're going to the gym 4 times per week, but what you're doing is just some dumbbell work and then a lot of cardio on a treadmill, your discipline is on point, but your focus is off. You want to build a muscular physique, you're going to, in my experience, have to do a combination of power building, some power lifting work, heavy weights, low reps, big compound movements, progressive overload, pre-planned deload cycles, and just keep stair-stepping, right, over a period of time to more strength. And you're probably going to have to couple that with some kind of hypertrophy work. That's the building part. Power part, building part, right? Where you do rep ranges from 6 to 12. Maybe you do the 20, 15, 12, 10 type of scheme. You do that with barbell work, dumbbell work, supersets, and so forth. You'll also have to focus on your nutrition, getting 200 grams of protein in a day on average, cutting out a lot of the refined sugars, things like that, if the goal is to get the physique, right, with muscles and looking powerful. So again, you can be disciplined in an area, but be hamstrung on the results. And what I've seen happen often, and I've done this myself multiple times in my life, is you become maniacally disciplined. Morning routine, to-do list checked every day, all kinds of things done throughout the day that the personal development world says you got to do. Everything from journaling, visualization, cold showers, studying, learning, all kinds of things. And you do that day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out, months on end. There's some improvement in life, but not the actual measurable progress within the metrics that you're probably doing the discipline for in the first place, like probably less body fat, more muscle, less headaches, way more money, things like that, right? The measurable big outcomes. So if you are or ever have been in a season of continued discipline where you can honestly say you were disciplined, and yet you didn't create the outcome that you wanted, even though you can honestly say, hand to God, I was disciplined for a really good length of time, then what was probably off was your focus. Again, as the simple metaphor that I illustrated earlier, you were metaphorically going to the gym, but you were not focusing on the right kind of lifting, training, bodybuilding program. Okay? So in business, I've seen entrepreneurs be very disciplined in their daily structure, morning structure, how they, being very efficient with their time, calendar absolutely packed out, but not effective. How so? Their focus was off. They were treating so many minor things as major things. There's a saying that says they were majoring in the minors. Because you can be a disciplined person, and I've seen this happen, and I've done this myself. You get into being a disciplined person finally, but you keep the discipline focus on areas of comfort where you're not really creating any dramatic change in operating and showing up in a new way. So for example, for a lot of small business owners, one of the biggest quantum leaps that they can make in their business is by going out and building referral partnerships, referral relationships, joint venture relationships, finding other businesses that serve the same customer that they're not in competition with, so that they can then be in collaboration and cooperation with, in mutual aid with. And it is fascinating to me, and I've worked with multiple business owners even recently on this, and it is amazing to me how much head trash comes up, and this is what I call head trash, about how they suddenly get busy with everything else and they're so disciplined they just don't have the time. Yet their goal is, I really want to double my business. Okay, well, and I've calculated this out so many times with the client, your 4 to 8 ongoing referral partners or joint venture partners away from doubling your business based upon your numbers, your math, your back end, potentials, the potential payouts you could pay in referral fees, affiliate payouts, etc. You're 4 to 8 joint venture partners or referral partners away from doubling your business. Once you see it mapped out on paper like that, that is your 80-20 of your 80-20 of your 80-20, meaning that is the absolute highest leverage activity you can take. But yet they will be so busy with everything else and then feeding this line of crock about how they don't have time to do that. It is literal horse shit. You have the time. You would make the time. The problem is that it's a comfort zone, and doing this new thing is a discomfort. It pushes you out of your comfort zone. But if you don't combine discipline with focus on something that will actually elevate you, that will actually get the result, you're going to simply burn yourself out following checklists, to-do lists, routines, your meta, awesome, incredible morning routine that you've synthesized and cross-pollinated from 17 different gurus with your 19 points every morning, but you don't have any progress. And I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater here. The right 19-step morning routine mapped out in a way that is focused on the right things, that's going to 10x you. That's going to catapult you big and fast. Of course. But the 19-step morning routine mapped out that keeps you in your comfort zones doesn't focus on anything that will actually create tangible progress, is truly mental masturbation. It's just feeling good for doing something structured, but it's probably really in effect in terms of your body fat percentage or your muscle size, in terms of your bank account balance, in terms of the quality of relationships. It is no more effective than if you sat on Netflix for 8 hours a day or video game for 8 hours a day, because the needle in those metrics is not moving, even though you're disciplined. So understand, and I feel like this is a rite of passage for any high performance man to eventually learn the distinction between focus and discipline, and to understand the distinctions and to understand the vital and critical importance of having both combined. Okay? A saying that I've been repeating to myself often when I work with my clients is, what I'm focused on with you is bullseye, not bullshit. I'm not interested in you doing 17 different things on a daily basis and bullshitting yourself into thinking that, oh, you're disciplined, you're structured, you're a high performance man, you're going to get the result. No, I'm interested in bullseye. You hitting the bullseye of the target that you have set for your life, or the targets that you have set for your life. Besides a few fundamentals, shared fundamentals based upon principles that all goal getting has in common, rarely do any of my personal coaching clients have much in common in terms of the things I'm holding them accountable to. Because while the fundamentals and principles of goal getting, goal acquisition, getting results, and identity transformation, while the fundamentals are similar, the foundation, the focus of the time, the action, the energy is radically and wildly different from client to client, man to man, depending on the goal. Are you with me? So, another slight variation on how to say what I'm saying is, figure out what it would take to win. Meaning play to win. Don't just get involved in being disciplined and structured without a clear focus of hitting the bullseye of your goal. And what it takes to hit the bullseye of the goal to be a champion race car driver, or to have a top 5% physique, or to double your income, or to triple your net worth in 3 years, or to find your dream woman and marry her. The bullseye, how to hit the bullseye of any of those outcomes, the focus for it, the things you would focus on to get to that outcome, are all radically and wildly different. Furthermore, coupled with variables like, are you in your 20s, 30s, or 40s? What's your starting point in terms of budget? What's your starting point in terms of fitness, health, body fat percentage? What's your starting point? What's your age bracket? Where do you live environmentally? There's so many variables, and those variables also influence and dictate what your focus needs to be. This is where you take massive shortcuts in life by having a coach that can help you get there. If that's cost prohibitive for you, then I'm putting you on game with this for free. Figure out what it would actually take to hit bullseye on your goal, given your specific environment, starting point, age range, etc. Figure out what it would take to truly win, to truly hit bullseye, not just bullshit yourself. And then play to win. And I've never seen anybody ever accomplish big new goals without constantly doing two things: being in a discomfort zone and consistently failing in a lot of small ways. Because you don't know what you don't know, so you have to learn a bunch of new things to get to the new goal, to the new outcome. And you accept that that's part of the process. Again, I've never seen anybody get on a bike and ride it flawlessly for the first time on a bicycle. You usually fall at least once, if not more than once, and scrape your knees learning how to ride a bicycle. Going after a new goal or outcome is pretty much exactly the same in terms of the fundamental principles at work. You want an outcome riding the bike that requires some skills that you don't have, and you're going to have to put some time and effort into getting into a discomfort zone to acquire the skills to get the outcome. Focus, discipline. Reading books about riding a bike, watching videos about riding a bike isn't going to get you to riding a bike better. Training in the gym for bike riding exercises isn't going to help you ride a bike. The focus is off. You got to get on the damn bike and try to ride it. There's your focus. Discipline is getting back on it over and over and over again until you're riding it. So, understand the distinction and the difference between focus and discipline, and understand that if you've ever been disciplined or are being disciplined but not getting the outcome and the results that you want, it's because you're lacking true focus. Bullseye, not bullshit.